You're tuned into Rockford's most listened to local sports show. This is the Stateline Sports Hour with Dave Schmidt and Matt Nestor on News Talk 1440 WROK.
And producer Tom Warner on the controls today. He's been a busy boy today. You know he does the weather now?
Yeah.
The famous Tom Warner brings you your morning weather.
He does it all.
Yeah, he does. Hey, right now we're going to shift over to some girls basketball, but we're going to stay at Boylan. And with us right now, she'll be a senior this year, is Kayla Steward. And Kayla, congratulations. You got a couple of offers this week.
Thank you so much.
How does that feel to get those offers? I know you were at the Eastern Illinois camp, and they walked up to you afterwards, you told me, and they said, hey, you want to play basketball for us?
Yeah, it was so surreal. Like, I was not expecting it at all. I was just expecting to, thank the coaches for having me there. And then when they offered me, I mean, my whole world just lit up.
I don't think a lot of people understand just how busy a summer is for a basketball player between, camps, AAU. Why don't you give people just a little idea of kind of what your schedule has been so far and what else you have left to do this summer?
Well, I'm currently on the road to Cincinnati, Ohio, and I'll be here for 4 days. And then after that, the day after that, we're driving to Indiana, and we'll be there for 3 days. And so I have a couple days home, and then I'm off to D.C. for a week. And so this July is just going to be so hectic with AAU basketball.
And you're playing for the Rockford Heat, which has a really nice program. Are those kids treating you good while they're being quiet in the car or whatever?
Well, actually, I'm no longer with the Rockford Heat.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I play for the ABC Knights in Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so I drive about an hour and 40 minutes to their practices.
And when you do all this AAU stuff, what's the difference when you're playing with teammates you're not familiar with a lot of times?
Well, I think the difference is, everybody in AAU, we all have the same goal. We all want to make it big, and we all want to play Division I basketball. And I think that's what makes it so much better is, a group of girls who are in love with the game and then coming as a family to play it.
How tough is that, though, to get together with a group like that? You say you all have the same goal, but that also means when everybody's on the floor, they're all trying to make an impact and get noticed. How tough can that be sometimes?
It gets tough, but I feel like when everybody has the same goal, we work together as a team. And, colleges aren't looking for that one player who drops 30 points or whatever. They're looking for an all-around player, a team player on defense, offense, So I think a lot of people think that, they just want the best girl to show up. No, it's not about that.
Does it give you an opportunity maybe to fine-tune some of your other skills as well when you got some of those players around you?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Is there anything different that team asks from you, kind of talking about doing different skills, as compared to what Boylan might ask from you during the season?
I think, the big difference is definitely what girls want to do after the high school season. For AAU, we all want to play in college. And as far as Boylan, there's certain girls that just play for high school to have fun. But, in AAU, we play to go on a bigger level.
Do you get to showcase maybe some different skills at AAU that you don't get to show necessarily at Boylan?
Yes, definitely. We have specific plays set up for specific people, and that's a big difference at Boylan.
Talk about last season. I was at the game when you guys stopped Hononiga's streak, and you just had one of those breakout games against Hononiga, and from then on you just kind of rolled. Did that give you a lot of confidence, that game against Hononiga?
It did. It really did, because I didn't play I wasn't on varsity the season before, and just going out there and kind of proving myself, it felt great.
How nice was it to come in and make an impact? Talk about not being on varsity the year before, not that you came out of nowhere. I'm sure people were aware of your talent, but, how nice was it to come in last year and really have a big impact like you did on their season?
I liked it because it pushed me to work harder. It pushed me to, okay, I want to be a starter and I want to score this amount of points per game. So I think it really pushed me to work harder off the court.
When you look at the going as far as you guys did in tournament, that had to be a big boost for the Boylan program, and I'm sure you got goals of maybe wanting to go a little bit farther this year.
Yeah, okay, well, we thought that we were going to be moved down to 3A.
Mm-hmm.
So we thought for sure, oh, yeah, we're going to state and, we're going to win this. But, I mean, we're still in 4A, but I still think that we can accomplish some goals, like especially with Haley Stoll and Jessie Skiro. They're both playing AAU basketball as well, so that'll be great for the program.
And you kind of mentioned that difference between people that are there, for fun and taking it seriously. I mean, how important is it to have a couple other players like that coming back that are doing kind of the same thing you're doing right now? So when you all get together, you really have some power there.
Oh, it means so much, especially you just have a special bond with them because we all want it so bad, and so it just helps us to work together, and it creates a lot of chemistry on the floor as well.
Have you had to run into them in the AAU circuit at all, play against them?
I have not ran into them yet, and I'm looking forward to it if we do.
With your new AAU team, is it anybody from the area, or is it just a lot of new friends you're making right now?
They're all new girls. I just started with them not last week, but the week before.
Mm-hmm.
And they have a 6'5" post player that'll be a sophomore, and she is ranked number 20 in the nation, so it'll bring a lot of attention.
So are you hoping to go D1 and maybe look for a really good education while you're at it too, Kayla?
People think that, okay, so EIU offered, and they're NCAA Division I, and so people think that that's the route I'm going, but it all comes down to academics and what's best for what I want to major in.
You just made a lot of people happy, Kayla, when you said that. You know that, don't you?
Well, I mean, that's the goal. I mean, after basketball, if I had the chance to play in the WNBA or overseas, that'd be awesome, but I have to fall back on my degree as well. So
we're talking with Boylan star Kayla Steward, who's playing some AAU basketball here in July.
And you kind of talk about the difference between Division I or talk about the education, but how much does the basketball come into play? Because I do know there's times, too, where, you might get a Division I offer, but it's at a lower level, and maybe that Division II offer might be a better thing in the long run.
Another key factor is definitely the team. The coaches can change at any time, so whenever, they tell you to make your decision, it has to be based on the team because they're always going to be there, and then you're with them every day. So they have to feel like a family, and that's another key part in my decision.
This week, Bree Edwards signed with Middle Tennessee State. She went to junior college, thought she was going to be at Florida State, and she went to Middle Tennessee State. So there's a lot of things that go on when you make that college choice. So I'm sure you're learning from all these things you hear about some of the local kids.
Yes, definitely.
Going back to the AAU thing, how do you get hooked up with the team up in Milwaukee? Kind of how does that process play out?
Well, we played against them. When I played for the Rockford Heat, we played against them. And the coach called me over afterwards, and he's been in love with me ever since, and he's been trying to recruit me over there, and I finally made the switch.
That was probably a hard one because that's a lot of traveling, isn't it, just to go to practice and to play some games up there?
It is. But, it's worth it, though. It's really paying off.
And you had Miss Blossage on your team this year. I think she's going to Florida Southern. Did it help to have somebody like her as a senior that helped out as you were developing this year?
Oh, it helped tremendously. I would not be the player I am today. She guided me so much this last season. She, showed me how to be a leader on and off the court. She's a great person inside and out.
Is that somebody you might lean on, too, as you try to kind of figure out what you want to do with your college decision, somebody that's kind of been through that already?
Definitely.
And you guys really, as the season was winding down, especially after that Hononegah game, and I think anybody that saw you guys really kind of grouped together as a team. I could see there was a lot of talking amongst you and a lot of discussions, kids coming off the bench and making some big shots, and it really just kind of made a great end of the season for you guys, didn't it?
Yeah, I felt like, as the season went on, we all became closer on and off the court. So they not only were my teammates, they were my best friends. And I felt like that's what really is important is, having fun in the game, and then things will work out.
What's going to be the biggest thing you're working on this summer, and what's going to be the one thing we notice when we see you next season that you've really improved on?
Well, I'm definitely trainer Gene Houston. I'm going to get back in the gym with him after this AAU run, and definitely getting stronger. So when I try to take it to the rim, I can finish more shots and get and ones and stuff like that, and not just strictly be known as a shooter, but as a threat on the drives as well.
And you had a pretty good coach this year at Boylan. Paul Peroni just seems to be a good fit for you. He's very calm and patient, and every time I watched him, when he does something with you players, he was very good about making sure you knew what he wanted, and he didn't, yell at you or anything.
Yeah, Coach has been trying to be really active in the recruiting process, and, I mean, he's more of like a grandpa, really, because he cares about us. You can tell. He's just always going to be there.
Well, congratulations. Good luck this week. Kind of keep us updated on Twitter. I follow you on Twitter, and I think your mom's on there, too. I keep track of you a little bit. So let us know how you're doing, and good luck, and we'll see you this year at Boylan.
All right, thank you so much.
You're welcome. We've been talking to Boylan girls basketball star Kayla Steward, and I saw her drop 30 in that Hononegah game. I mean, and she's quick, too. I don't think people realize how quick she is.
Oh, yeah, she's very, very quick, great shooter. A lot of skills, It'll be very interesting to see, what happens this summer with her and as we get into next season.
Yeah. So they could recruit in AAU, we found out.
Oh, they certainly can. Yeah.
There we go.
And that's what I was kind of interested about, because that happens a lot more than you think, too, where, somebody sees you at a game. And really, we've talked about AAU is all about exposure. So I don't think it was it probably wasn't even as much of a basketball issue as it was just an exposure issue. If they get to some more tournaments out there and some different places that maybe the Rockford team didn't get to, that's probably what it really came down to at the end of the day.
And a 6'5" post girls number 20 in the country will draw a lot of attention.
Well, and that's the thing is that so they're probably hitting all the big tournaments, and like she said, a lot of people are going to be coming, yes, to watch that player. But that you hear these kind of stories all the time too. We came to watch this player, but we saw this player and loved him. So,
and the first good sign is that the Milwaukee team liked her a lot.
Yeah.
So that's a good talent sign. We're going to take a timeout. We're going to wrap it up here on this Saturday morning here on the Stateline Sports Hour on News Talk 1440 WROK.